Good evening, everybody. I apologize for the light. I don't know why it flickers like that. Maybe I should turn the exposure down. This video is not planned. I just wanted to hop on and vlog for you guys. I'm actually alone tonight. So you guys saw in the last video, I had been admitted. The last clip of the last vlog was the day after I was discharged from the hospital. Pretty fresh. I was still feeling like absolute garbage. I felt like a shell of a human being, and it has not changed. Today was the 11th of April, and I don't feel any better. I have barely been able to get out of bed today. You can probably hear it in my voice. I just don't feel good. I've been sleeping most of the day. I have taken Tylenol. I've just been in pain, not only from the cath site, but I also am still like menstrually bleeding because of the Nexplanon. I had like really bad abdominal pain, and eventually I asked Beebs if he could go get me like some Pedialyte or like the Gator Light. I personally like the Gator Light. We call it thick water. That's just what we call it. It's funny. It's just like an inside joke. Anyway, he went and got me 2 of those. I tried the new tropical coconut and it was so good. I will be getting that again. And then the mixed berry, which I've had before. So I drank those over time earlier. And Beebs basically just told me like after this it should probably be just water, because you also don't want to overconsume sodium in your situation either. So for the last couple days, not just today, I've had this big Maverick cup full of ice water. I'm working my way through it. I filled it up earlier. So I'm drinking that. I am drinking as much water as I can. Obviously, it's very scary. I was very dehydrated. I still feel like this even after like 12 plus hours of IV fluids. So it's just scary, and I'm trying to hydrate. I obviously need electrolytes, magnesium, potassium, all of the stuff that's in the Pedialyte type of stuff. But anyway, like I was saying, I'm alone tonight. Beebs is gone. He went camping with his brother and his brother's wife. They are not far from here, like he's probably a half hour away. And I do have the car, so if I need to go anywhere I can. But moral of the story, I've just been feeling like garbage. But my sister did come over for a bit. She literally just pulled out of the parking lot and we filmed a reborn bath time video. I will be uploading that probably sometime tomorrow. By the way, that's for my IV blood thinners. Anyways, we filmed that. I'll get it edited and uploaded. But I apologize for traffic. I have the window open. I felt fevered all day. Anyway, I do have some gifts from Rechelle. She sent me like 1 get well gift and then 3 little birthday gifts. 2 were in one package and 1 was in another. So I want to show you guys those real quick. All right, luckily I have a moving box right here that's too heavy for either Beebs or I to lift. So that is the current tripod right now. So I'll start. I'm sorry that it's so dark. It flashes and I don't like that. Anyways, I'll start with the little get well gift she sent me. This came the day after my discharge. So the last clip of the last vlog, this came that day. The Amazon delivery driver called me. He was like, what unit number? And like at first he didn't specify that it was Amazon, so I hung up. I'm very skeptical and like superstitious, I guess. And then he called again and I was like, obviously this person wants to get a hold of me. So I answered and it turned out to be a package. You know what? Fuck this. I'm turning this up. It's gonna have to just flash because I don't know what else to do. So I was like, Beebs and I were confused. I was like, did you order something? Like, I didn't order something and neither of us knew. We opened it. It turned out to be from Rechelle. I don't have the actual product. It's in the bathroom. My sister just tried it. But it was the I believe it's Nuki vanilla scented massage oil. It says rehydrate, relax, and replenish dry, tired skin with this lightweight vanilla oil, perfect for massage. It says pour a generous amount onto the skin and massage from neck to toe. This lightly scented oil will then gently hydrate skin, leaving it with a silky smooth feel. That is accurate, and it's all like coconut oil, cocoa butter, sunflower oil and like essential oil for fragrance. This is the box. I did keep this, and then the product itself obviously came with the pump and then just a regular like screw-on cap. So I have all of that for when we move. I'll just take the pump out, rinse it off, put it in the box with the bottle and the regular cap on it for moving purposes. So I do have this box. I probably won't keep it after we're moved into the new place, but that's that. Okay, and then the second package, which came yesterday. My birthday was on the 9th, but the package didn't get here till yesterday afternoon. So I'll start with the bigger item since it's right here. So it was in a big huge box, and I cut it open and it said fleece Sherpa lined throw blanket. Such a cute rose color with the white Sherpa on the background. So warm. And I was like, sweet, a throw blanket, like that's fucking awesome. I love blankets. And then something dropped as I was like moving it around to spread it out, and it is in fact a heated blanket, which it's not fully plugged in, so I can't turn it on. But obviously you have your heat adjuster, you have the time. It can go 2, 4, 8, and 10 hours, so it lasts quite a while. Then obviously a power button. The brand is Sealy, and it just attaches like any other heated blanket. It is washable, I believe, but I'm not going to throw it in the washer until I know. And Beebs has an attachment, like an adapter for these, for the cigarette lighter in the car, so I can use it if we go on like long road trips or whatever. Anyway, so it's heated. I was like, that's awesome. A heated blanket, I love that. I've never had a nice one. And then upon further inspection, I opened it up and I was like, what is that? Like, what is that weird piece? This bitch has sleeves, so it's like a Snuggie. I don't know if you guys remember those, but it is definitely like in its true Snuggie form. So of course I can't find both of the sleeves, but sleeve number 1, sleeve number 2, it's a fucking Snuggie. And then what made it even better was that the bottom is like separated for your feet, so it has little pockets for your feet to go in. So warm, it lasts so long, and I was just like so fucking thankful. Rechelle is the sweetest, and I will tell you, like, with how I felt, like the shitty feeling, like feeling like I'm dying all day today and yesterday, like it was just comforting to have this, and it's from someone that I love very much. And after I've finished this vlog, I plan on laying down with it again. I've never actually slept in this apartment without Beebs overnight, so I'm very anxious. I'm anxious in general. I didn't think it would be weird because obviously this is my home, but I've never been here alone overnight without Beebs, and I have sundowners. That's mostly where my anxiety stems from. I mean, I'm generally anxious. Anyway, I get very paranoid at night, and it's a lot worse knowing that Beebs isn't here. Anyway, so that was the big gift in the box that I received yesterday. And then there was something small. I don't have the original bag it was in. It was just in like a tear open bag. I was like, what is that? Originally I thought it was like a necklace or something, but it's a pocket hug. I don't know if you guys have ever seen these before, but it came with this cute resin heart. I don't know if you can tell the color because of the lighting, but it's like a pink and baby blue resin heart with like little sparkly bits in it. And it came with a little sticky adhesive thing to stick the heart to the card. I originally was going to just like keep it loose and hold on to it like a worry stone, but if I lost that little heart, I would be heartbroken. So it says, a pocket hug, a little heart from me to you, filled with lots of love and big hugs too. Love you lots. Sorry, I was like hesitating because I can't read backwards. But yeah, this is special. It made me cry. Now I know whenever I'm struggling or sad or whatever, I can pull this out and know that there are a lot of people that love me, including Rechelle. And this will obviously always make me remember that she loves me. She's just incredible. So that was super sweet. I will get a card holder for it. I don't want it to get ruined. That would break my heart. So for now, it's just in my wallet, so it's always with me. So that was the big package that I got yesterday afternoon. Fast forward to like the evening time. She had texted me and she was like, oh, this noise from the road is ridiculous. she was like, oh, there's another package on the way for you. Like, it says that you're the delivery driver's, like, next stop. And I was like, oh my God, you're an angel. Like, I love you. You didn't have to send, like, you didn't have to spoil me. Your love is enough, you know? So, let me grab the box, actually. So, it was this little box. I don't know the brand. I can't really read. I'm a shell of a human being. But it says, I think it's Lit Wall, crafted for you. And this is a 14 karat gold plated diamond necklace, women's girly jewelry. Came in this cute little box, which obviously I kept with a little baggie to protect it. And this is the necklace. So beautiful. I will wear this for the rest of my life. I just think it's so glittery, and it matches my tongue ring. So that's pretty cool. Beautiful. She's so sweet. I cherish Rechelle every day of my life. She's just absolutely fucking incredible. I couldn't ask for a better motherly figure in my life, obviously aside from Nicole. But Rechelle is just amazing, and I'm so thankful for her. So I know she'll never watch this, but to Rechelle, I fucking love you, and you are literally a fucking angel. Okay, I'm in bed. I decided to move because I want to lay down. Like I've said a million times, I feel like a shell of a human being. But this is the blankie, snuggie type thing on. And I have my feet in the little pockets, keeping my feet warm. It literally matches my phone case perfectly. But real quick, I wanted to talk about, so I did try to vlog on my birthday on the 9th. Didn't end up working out. I ended up having to scrap the whole first half of the video. And at that point, I had edited not only the clip that I scrapped, but all of this beautiful footage I got of my family's property, including like drone footage. And with the editing software I use, when I deleted this isn't going to make sense. I'm sorry. When I deleted the first half of the video, it fucked with the editing that I had done in the second half, which all the drone footage and like me vlogging inside the cabin was where I put like most of the text and the music and all of that. So it fucked everything up. And plus, like, I was talking about things in the first half of the video that just weren't relevant. At least they're not relevant now, and it wouldn't make sense to you guys. So hopefully at the end of this video, if I decide to edit it, you'll see all of that footage. I showed you guys like a cabin tour. Like I said, we got drone footage, and we found my glasses up there. I left these there last summer under a couch because Beebs and I had been sitting on that couch the morning that we left. And I tucked them under the couch so I wouldn't like sit on them. I didn't want to wear them. And we left without them, and that was like last June. Like right after we moved in here, we were staying in the rooftop tent. So Beebs reminded me, like before we were gonna go drive around and then head home, he's like, oh, do you want to look for your glasses? And I said, yeah. And they weren't under the couch, and I was like, somebody fucking took them. Like they're nowhere to be found. And Beebs looked on the fireplace in like the back area of the cabin. You guys will see the whole cabin when I upload that. If it's not in this video, it will be in a future video. And family had left them on the mantle for me. So anyway, moral of that whole rant was that you guys will see that footage eventually if it's not in this video. Also, blood thinners. I promise I'm not being abused. And like, I swear to God, like all of these dark bruises, well, that one's from an IV, but all of these bruises are from blood thinners. I'm not like being abused or whatever. I just want to make that clear. So yeah, I guess also in this video, I wanted to kind of give you guys an update. The glare is really bothering me on these, so I'm going to take them off. Probably bugs you guys too. But I wanted to give you guys an update on the whole hospital admission situation. You guys saw me like actually in the hospital when I vlogged early that morning on the 7th. I really don't know what to do about the lighting. Like, can you guys see me? No? Yes? Anyway, I vlogged that clip of me in cardiology after I'd gotten admitted. Like, they literally just brought me up, put me on fluids, like did my IV, and then walked away, and I filmed that clip. But I did want to dig in a little deeper and let you guys know, like, what exactly happened. So basically, the late night on the 6th of April, so I don't know what day of the week that was. It was probably like 11:30 on the 6th, and I had gotten in the bath, and all day I'd felt kind of shitty. I felt like almost fevered, and I was dizzy, I was nauseous, I was having like abdominal pain, I was having chest pressure. I made it very clear with the EMTs, I'll get to that in a second, that it wasn't chest pain, because I don't want to say that and mislead them into thinking something serious is happening. I'm going to be very honest about my symptoms, especially when it comes to my heart. Anyways, so I got in the bath to try to make myself feel better that evening. Like I said, it was pretty late at night, and I noticed that there were clots in the water because I had been like menstrually bleeding. I mentioned this in the clip from me in the hospital in the last vlog. I'd been bleeding, like period bleeding, and I noticed that there were like 4 or 5 clots in the water. They weren't huge, but they were definitely there, and it was concerning. If you haven't been here, I am on a blood thinner. So I immediately got really freaked out, not only because of the clots, but because of all the other symptoms I'd been feeling all day that day. Now, I just want to clarify, the medication I'm on for blood thinner, I've talked about it before. It's called Eliquis. I refer to it as a blood thinner. Technically, it's not a blood thinner. It's just an anticoagulant. That's what they call it. Due to my blood clot in my left ventricle, it's called a thrombus. Due to that, they don't want it clotting any further. So I'm on an anticoagulant. So that being said, my blood is different than other people's at the moment, and that's why I bruise so easily. But that being said, on an anticoagulant, you can still clot. Obviously, they don't want to completely take away your body's ability to clot, because you can bleed internally, you can bleed from the outside of your skin. So anyway, I just wanted to clarify that before I continue. So saw the clots in the water pretty late at night, and I was like, you know what, I'm concerned. My resting heart rate had been a little bit elevated. I don't want to say high because it was like in the low 100s, but recently with the improvements I've been making or trying to make, it's been resting in like high 70s to low 80s BPM wise. So I was concerned. It had been like 100, 110 all day, and I was just like laying there. I felt like shit. I eventually ended up on the phone with my sister and her partner, Nate. You guys have seen Nate in my videos, I believe. And I was crying to my sister. I said, can you take me to Instacare? Now, me being frantic, I didn't think about the fact that Instacare wasn't open that late at night. They closed at 5 p.m. And she looked it up, and she was like, Instacare's closed. Like, you're going to have to either call 911 or, like, go to the ER, like, drive to the ER. And Nate basically told me, so Nate, her partner, is a pilot for Lifelight. Sorry, this is such a long rant. I'm trying to make it simple. Anyways, he's a he's a pilot. Sorry, I'm all over the place. He's a pilot for Lifelight, and he advised me to just call the ER in the hospital I get treated at. I talked about this briefly in the hospital, I believe, but he advised me to call them and just see what they recommend. Now, I knew prior to calling that they can't say anything like medical advice over the phone. They can't do that. They're not allowed to do that. So I told them the situation, and all I asked was, do you recommend I get seen? I also told them my conditions. I wanted to be very honest. I told them the symptoms and the clotting, and they basically advised me, you need to call 911 and get here so you can be checked out due to your heart issues, which I totally understood. And I was like, awesome. Like, if that's what you recommend, I will do it, because in this moment I'm panicking. I'm freaked out. Like, my heart doesn't need this. And if something serious is happening, I'd rather call the ambulance and deal with the bill later than have something serious happen and I end up dying. Like, that sounds brutal and like dramatic, but I promise it's not. So obviously, like, not only that, but the ambulance can get me to the hospital a hell of a lot faster than a regular vehicle. They have the means to do that. They have like rights to do that, I guess, if something serious were happening. Now, in my position, I would rather call 911 than not, with my heart. So I ended up on the phone with 911, with dispatch. I told her everything that I told the ER. And she was like, okay, like, we're sending EMTs, like, we're sending paramedics your way. Like, where are you at right now? Can you unlock the door for them? And I was like, I'm in the bath right now. Like, I can get out and unlock the door. They can just come in, but I need to be sitting down. Like, I don't feel right. So I got out of the bath. I literally didn't have underwear on. I threw on shorts and a huge t-shirt, and I unlocked the door for the EMTs. At that point, they were headed up the elevator. So I met them outside at our front door, not outside, but at our apartment front door, right as they were walking down the hall. I sat down on the couch, and obviously they came in, the dog started barking. There was probably 6 EMTs there. I told them everything. They were asking me a bunch of questions, my history, obviously taking vitals. They did, I believe it was a 6-lead EKG right there. Obviously, they had the pulse oximeter on my finger, a blood pressure cuff on my arm, the EKG stickers on me, and I was freaking out. And basically, they ended up telling me, like, we're not seeing anything, like, that's jumping out to us, like, oh, you need to be in a hospital now. But due to your symptoms, like, it's probably best you come into the hospital, but that's up to you. Like, we're not telling you, like, you need to go to the hospital now. And I just, like, they asked me basically what I thought I needed to do, which I thought was awesome. They let me advocate for myself without fighting to do that, and it was just great. Like, all of them are amazing. They do amazing work. Like, I have so much respect for those people. And I was like, I would feel better if I went to the hospital. And in that same sentence, I basically asked them, like, can you take me to the hospital where my doctors are? Like, this is my hospital. My cardiologist is there. My EP doctor is there. I let them know I had a ICD. I do that with anybody and everybody. And they were like, of course. Like, if you want to go to your treatment hospital, you're more than welcome. This is a lot. Oh, I need to hydrate while I tell the rest of this story, because apparently it's my fucking life story in a fucking novel, but video form. Thank God for 52 ounce, I believe, Maverick cups. Hydrating. Okay. So they took me via ambulance. There was no lights and sirens because I wasn't critical. Thank God. By the way, they're incredible. Like, he got IV access the first time. If you've ever been in the front seat of a semi, this is weird. But my cousin actually drives truck. Like, he used to drive a big semi. He still does, but locally. If you've ever been in the front seat of one, the seats bounce a lot because the truck is so big and, like, they need flexibility, I guess. I don't know the proper term for it. But the seats are very bouncy, and same with the back of the ambulance. There's a lot of bouncing and, like, turbulence is what I want to call it. And it's just incredible the way that he was able to do it so calmly without getting frustrated. Like, I know this is his job, but it was just amazing to me that he could do that. He got IV access, and obviously, like, they get IV access for anybody in ambulance transport, just because, like, what if they need something immediately, like life-saving measures, I guess. And they also had me on IV fluids right then and there because I expressed to them that I thought I was dehydrated. We did go on a hike on Easter Sunday, and I told them, like, maybe I overdid it. And so they had me on IV fluids, so I expressed both of those things. And it took us about 15-20 minutes to get to my hospital. I know they were hauling ass anyway, because usually it takes me a half hour to get there. So we got there. They obviously had me on a stretcher, strapped down, like my legs were strapped down. That's just what they do for safety, I guess. Took me into the ER at my normal hospital and got me into a room, and they did all the procedure, like give me my hospital band and get me checked in. They asked me a bunch of questions. They took vitals. I was there for around 4-ish hours. In that time, I got a CT scan and an EKG. Now, I get regular EKGs at monthly cardiology appointments, like routine cardiology appointments. But I believe they're not 12 lead EKGs. I believe they're 6 lead. I could be wrong. I don't even know if a 6 lead is a thing. I'm not a doctor. So they did the 12 lead, and from my knowledge, the 12 leads take a little bit longer to get results. And the test itself takes like maybe 45 seconds. So that wasn't bad. They put the stickers on you, they do the test, they take the stickers off. Like, it's routine for me. I've been through EKGs, not scary whatsoever. Obviously, the situation was scary, but you know what I'm getting at, right? And then they took me in for a CT scan. Now, I'm positive that I've had one before last year when my whole heart attack, cardiac arrest situation happened, when all of this surfaced in me. But I don't remember 2 weeks because of that situation. I don't remember that day. I don't remember the transport. I don't remember the hospital stay. Hardly at all. Probably like the only thing I remember is like after I'd had the pacemaker in a couple days, and obviously when I went home. But I don't remember anything, so I'm not aware if I did get a CT scan, but I'm 99% sure I did. Sorry, this is rambling. It's probably not going to make any sense. I've been talking for 26 minutes. This wasn't the purpose of this vlog, but here we are. So they took the tech came down and they were like, oh, we're actually going to take you up for a CT scan. And I was scared. I'm not really familiar with CT scans. Like I said a million times just now, I'm sure I've had one, but I don't remember it. And I said, like, will that affect an ICD? Like, I've got an ICD in my chest. I have a rhythm disorder. Like, I know I'm not supposed to be around magnets. And I guess I was getting it confused with an MRI, because I've had one of those as well before my pacemaker. Anyway, and she was like, no, there's nothing to be worried about. It's basically just an ultrasound. I said, cool, let's go. I want to get the fuck out of here. Obviously, my plan was to go home. Like, I was just there to get checked out. I did not expect to be admitted. So she took me up and she was super nice, and I told him that it was fascinating. I told this woman that it was fascinating what they do. And she basically explained that it takes pictures like a loaf of bread. Like boom, 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 all the way down to your feet. And then same thing on each side of your body. So like a loaf of bread. She was like, I love anatomy. Like, this woman was so nice. She was so good at distracting me. That took maybe 15 minutes. I went in and out of the machine about 4 times. It looks like an MRI machine, but it's not a long tube. It's just like a little circle that you go in and out of. The machine told me what to do. Like, it has you hold your breath and then breathe. And I was back down to the emergency room in the bay that I was in. The scans didn't take very long in and of themselves, but I waited around, I want to say 2.5 hours for results. And I told you guys last time that, thank God, by some miracle, my cardiologist was on call that night. So through the team of nurses and doctors in the ER, they communicated to him, wherever he was in that hospital, that I was there. He knows me. He was there when I died 3 times. He treats me every 3 months. He has for 1.5 years now. I trust this man with my life. Obviously, he's a good doctor. He's an amazing man, so smart. And he knew me just by my name. And he made it like a note in my chart. That's the app, the system that my hospital uses, that he would be up to see me the next morning. Obviously, I was admitted, and he helped make that decision. So I was taken up to cardiology. Everything was sorted out. Beebs had come home and gotten me a bag and brought me some stuff. He brought me like a change of clothes, some shoes, like some underwear, some pads, because I am bleeding, still am. And my pills, which that was just a precautionary measure. Like, they don't even let you take your own personal pills in the hospital. They bring your dose to you, like your daily dose, in a cup, and they watch you take it. So my pills were just there because I don't know. I don't remember my last admission. So he brought that, and he stayed up in my room with me for like 20-30 minutes. And obviously he brought my pillow and blanket and my Murphy bear. You guys know Murphy. You've seen him before. Yeah, didn't get very much sleep. Beebs ended up coming home. By the time he got here, it was around 4 a.m. I maybe got 20 minutes of sleep before they came in to do like blood work, normal hospital shit. If you've ever been admitted, someone's in there every 3 minutes, it feels like. Didn't get any sleep. Not only that, but I was scared. It was a freaky situation for me. So, yeah, that happened. And then my cardiologist came in after all of that. The echo tech was there in the morning, and as she was finishing, I believe it was a full study, which I was half asleep for, my cardiologist knocked, like, as she was packing up to leave my room. And he came in, and he didn't know anything other than I was admitted. Obviously, like I said, he knows my situation, but he didn't know the full story as to why I was there and why I was admitted. And I explained everything that I explained in 911, the symptoms I told you guys, the same thing I told the EMTs. I told him everything. I told him about the hike. It was kind of moderate. I did some pretty heavy exercise. I had weird symptoms then, like dizzy feeling, like I overdid it a little bit. I told him that I felt dehydrated. I told him all my symptoms, the cramping, the bleeding, the chest pressure, the abdominal pain, like the fevered feeling, all of it. Like, I was completely honest with this man. I always am. And after him and I chatted for a minute and he knew the full situation, he basically said, like, at this point, it's my recommendation that we do the heart catheter surgery. I want to make that clear. It's a procedure. It's not like a surgery. So I just want to make that clear. And him and I had talked about this procedure months and months ago, and it terrified me. Like, absolutely scared the shit out of me. I feel like it would scare the shit out of anybody. At the time, he called it a coronary angiogram, which is basically the same thing, I believe. I could be wrong, so correct me if I'm wrong. But as far as I know, it's pretty much the same thing. So he said, like, I think we should do the heart cath, which is the angiogram. And at that point, even though it's been my worst fear for months, I've been dreading it. It crippled me from the moment he talked about it up until that point. In that moment, I knew, like, this is a scary situation. I'm obviously here for a reason. This is the man that knows me the best out of any doctor in this hospital. He was with me through my whole near-death experience. And he even had a student doctor with him, and he was like, she's a miracle. Like, he turned to the student doctor and was like, this is a miracle woman right here. He knows me. And at that point, even though I was terrified of the procedure, medical stuff, especially surgeries or procedures, really bother me. I've always been that way. It's terrifying, especially with my past with heart issues specifically. Anyway, in that moment, I put on a brave face and I was like, you know what? I'm already here. I want to prevent anything happening while I can. Like, I'm already here. Let's just do it. Like, when would it be happening? Do you have an estimate on when it would happen? And he was like, expect them to come get you around 10 a.m. Like, I'm going to put in an order for it. And this is in the same area on the same floor of the hospital that I go to every 3 months. Like, I've been to the Heart Institute across the hall from cardiology where all of this happens many times. I'm treated at the Heart Institute and cardiology right across the hall. And I'm also up there for EP, for my ICD. So anyway, shortly after that, like, we decided, he gave me a hug and he was like, I'm glad you came in. He's the sweetest man ever. Like, I have so much respect for this man. He gave me a hug and he walked out and he was like, 10 a.m., like, they'll come get you. Keep in mind, 911, from the point I called 911 to this moment, I was not allowed to eat. They told me I was not allowed to eat. And at this point, I was still fasting. My nurse came in and she was like, oh, like, the cath lab's pretty full and we don't even know, like, if they're going to get you in today. And I broke down to the nurse, and I want to make this very clear to you guys. I know it's not in the nurse's control. They're just doing their job. I get that. So I want to make that very clear. And I told them the same thing. But I broke down to the nurse. I said, I understand it's not in your control. I'm dehydrated. That's part of the reason I'm here. They've confirmed that. Also, I haven't eaten in 13 hours. I'm hungry. Like, it's getting worse than it was when I got here. I need to eat or drink something. Like, I'm begging you. These fluids aren't doing anything. Like, and I told them, again, I understand it's not in your control, but either I'm going to go for the procedure today or you're going to let me have a meal and drink something. Like, I'm miserable. I'm suffering. And I was like, nobody would want to feel this way, like, not even you guys. Like, it's horrible. And they were like, no, I completely understand. And again, I want to make it clear to you guys that I told them, like, I know it's not in your control. I wasn't yelling at them. I was crying. I was hysterical, don't get me wrong. But I tried not to. I never try to make the nurses feel called out. They're doing amazing work. So that's that. And basically they were like, oh, we completely understand. Like, thank you for expressing that to us. We'll go talk to the cath lab, which is the area that does the procedure, and see if they can squeeze you in ASAP. Because, like, we get how you feel kind of thing. These are amazing nurses. And literally all it took was me being nice and advocating for myself, communicating it in a decent way to these nurses. 3 minutes after they left the room, the surgeons came up to get me. And I was wheeled to the cath lab. I've been in there before, not the cath lab, but near it, in the Heart Institute for full study echoes. And I was crying. I was freaking out. I was terrified. One of the female surgeons, she was amazing, helped calm me down. There were a lot of male surgeons in the room as well. They gave me what they called calm down medicine because I was freaking out. Obviously, it was medications that I could have before the surgery that wouldn't alter the results. They wouldn't let me have my hydroxyzine. I asked them before they took me down, and they were like, no. So they gave me medication to calm me down. Also, part of the reason that I was freaking out is I thought I was going to be sedated, like lightly sedated. And I wasn't. I was awake the whole time, fully aware. And that's also due to the fact that they don't want altered results or the procedure is pointless. So I will say the prep took longer than the procedure. They draped me in surgical drapes, like, you know, like in Grey's Anatomy type shit when it's open just around the site and it's stuck to your skin and then you're covered head to toe in drapes. That's what it was. It was terrifying. It took about 30 minutes and then the doctor came in. He's actually my cardiologist boss. I believe I mentioned this in the last video. And he introduced himself, super nice guy. He was like, hey, like, I'm sorry to meet you here in this setting, but like, it's nice to meet you. And I'll be in and out in like 5 minutes. You're going to do great. Like, don't freak out. Like, it's going to be fine. Like, you're going to do awesome. Like, I'm sorry you're here, but we're going to get this done and you're going to be okay. And he was incredible. And he meant it. Like, all I felt was pressure. They had me numb. They had me sterilized. I was covered. I was looking to my left so I could see the surgeon on this side, and I could obviously hear them talking like surgery terms. It's so fascinating. I know it's not a surgery. I just want to make that clear. And so all I felt was pressure of them doing the catheter, which I'm going to clean this before I go to bed. I'm paranoid. And then before I knew it, they told me to breathe in and breathe out really fast. And as I let my breath go, they pulled out the catheter. I felt it, but it wasn't painful. Like, I knew they were doing something, but I didn't feel pain. And she applied pressure for a minute, obviously more than normal because I am on a blood thinner. They bandaged it, and then I went down to recovery, sat there for an hour. I told you guys I went back up to cardiology in my room. The doctors gave me the great news. If you haven't heard that, go watch the last video. My heart's improved by 8%. Can I get hallelujah? And shortly, well, a few hours after that, I was discharged. And I've been home resting ever since. Thank the Lord. Like, I'm so thankful for my amazing team of doctors. They do incredible work. My cardiologist himself, I was telling all of the nurses and all of the doctors that helped me this admission, like, he's amazing. I have so much respect for him. He's so smart. And they all agreed. They were like, he is such a sweet, genuine person. He blows us away, like, even in meetings, how smart he is. He'll draw a full human heart on the whiteboard by memory. He'll know every single part. And they all agreed with me. They were like, he is incredible. Like, you're so lucky to have him as a cardiologist. He's amazing. And I totally, like, I gave him props a lot. Like, it wasn't me kissing ass. Like, he's genuinely amazing. So, obviously, like, I know I did the right thing. And my cardiologist, all the doctors in the room, when they gave me the good news, were super impressed. And by some miracle, my cardiologist was there. I knew just because of that, like, I didn't know when I called the ER that he was there. Like, obviously, I don't know his personal schedule, but he was there. And I knew that just by that, him being there, that I was in the right place at the right time. So yeah, later that day I was discharged, and here I am. I'm thankful for my cardiologist. He's incredible. All of the nurses and doctors there are incredible. I'm thankful for every single one of the nurses and doctors, hospitalists, cardiologists, everybody, EP, all the amazing people that do amazing work every single day. Anyone in the medical field, people that I don't even know exist. You guys do incredible work, and I'm so thankful for you. So yeah, I just wanted to do a deep dive. I know this has been 40 minutes of me talking. This probably won't be edited. But yeah, that was my admission, and basically I've just felt like a shell of a human being. I was really freaked out. I was not myself whatsoever. I felt like I was gonna die, like literally, and I'm not being dramatic. I cried to Beebs, and I was like, I don't feel like it's getting any better. Like, I could barely keep my eyes open. I couldn't get out of bed. I had stomach pain. Like, I just have not felt good, and it was really, really scary, especially today, knowing that, like, it's not getting any better type of thing. But I know it takes time. It was a pretty big deal. This procedure's a pretty big deal, so I have to give myself time to heal, and in that time, I have to rest and relax and stay calm, because my heart doesn't need that stress, especially after a procedure. So yeah, my blankie is so warm, but that is my little update. I'm thankful. I'm blessed. Everyone in the medical field is just incredible, and I've worked hard to improve, and clearly I'm doing something right, because I've progressed 8%, which doesn't seem like a lot to you guys, but it's a lot for me, and I'm proud of myself. So that was my little vlog. I'm probably gonna go. Beebs is probably texting me. I have my phone on silent mode just because I've been overwhelmed, but I want him to know that I'm okay, especially since he's away, and he's obviously concerned about me already. So yeah, I'm sorry for the ranting and raving, 42 minutes. I just really like talking to you guys. It's comforting, and I get sundowners, like I mentioned, so it's comforting to talk to you guys when I'm anxious and paranoid like that, scared, because of what I've been through this last week. So I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I'm going to try to rest, maybe give Beebs a call and tell him good night. He'll be home tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. And yeah, I've had a rough week, but I'm getting better. I'm doing everything I can to take care of me. And if any of you out there are struggling like I am, health issues or not, I'm with you. Take care of yourself. It is okay to rest. It is okay to focus on you. No matter how much time you need to do that, it's valid. I'm in a similar position, feeling like shit, feeling like it's not gonna get better, feeling like I've had enough. So to any of you beautiful people out there, if you maybe feel similar to me for a different reason or for a similar reason, I'm with you, and I love you, and I'm thankful for your guys' support. Look out for the reborn video with my sister. I'll try to upload that tomorrow sometime. It depends on how I'm feeling. Obviously, I'll post on here when that is going up. But I'm going to try to get some rest. I'm going to enjoy my heated blanket, drink some more water, and get my pills in my system. And I love you. Thank you for letting me talk for 43 minutes. Like I always say, don't forget to always express what you're thankful for. Drink your water, take your meds, and if your posture's bad, fix it. And until next time, I will see you guys soon. Love you. Bye. Mwah.